Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the monthly transit results or monthly horoscope for all the rising signs for this upcoming month of October. So guys, one thing I can assure you that during this month, some sort of significant events are bound to take place in your life because a lot many planetary shift is taking place, some of which are making some sort of unusual kind of Raj Yogas as well in the transit. So definitely guys, before we will get into the customized results, let's first try to understand the synopsis that how planets are going to be behaving in this month. So guys, to start with, on October 1st, the planet of intelligence, communication, travel, Mercury is going to be entering its sign of exaltation in the Virgo sign on October 1st. After that, on October 2nd, Venus will transit the sign of Leo. Now, as you know that all those fields where your charm and your personality, your magnetism is strongly required, Venus's placement in the Leo could be favorable for that. After that, on October 3rd, Mars will transit the sign of Libra. Over there, it is going to get conjunct with Ketu as well. So guys, during this month, there's a lot of emphasis which is going in the attributes of the Libra. First Mars, then Sun, which will also transit over there on October 18th. So that in itself means that pertaining to the matters of Libra, some sort of churning up, positive or negative, could also take place in your life. After that guys, finally on October 19th, Mercury will transit the sign of Libra. And lastly guys, at the end, on October 30, finally much awaited transit like Rahu and Ketu are going to be shifting their signs. The best part over here is that finally Jupiter is going to be out of the malefic effect of Rahu. And guys, for all the Vedic believers, as you know that from September 29th, Shraddh or Pitru Paksh is beginning. So from September 29th till October 14th, which is a very important kind of days for paying your homage towards your ancestors. And all those charts in where you have Pitru dosha, like you have Saturn Rahu conjunct, you have Ketu Saturn conjunct, or your moon is hemmed between all these like malefic planets. So then doing remedies, doing japa, or paying homage to your Kul Devta, your ancestors, generally considered as very auspicious. And guys, like the way whenever we talk about these sort of yogas, now this could be like Pitru dosha, this could be Kal Sarp yoga, Manglik dosha. So there are certain yogas which makes our overall life vulnerable, and it becomes very difficult to sometimes decode that which specific area of your life is going to get negatively affected. So let's say for example, during this Pitru Paksh, if majority of your problems hover around the issues or dispute surrounding around property, something to do with the court cases, lawsuit, or troubles, issues with your brothers and your siblings. So as you know that in the transit, Ketu is going to be conjunct with Mars. So specifically guys, doing the Pind, Shraddh or Panch Bali, all these Hindu rituals, Vedic rituals dedicated towards paying homage to your ancestors. And if you are living in a foreign land, doing all these things is not possible. So at least making donations on the new moon, whatsoever new moon will fall in these days, can be considered as one of the best remedy for making peace with your planetary vibrations. So okay guys, now we will shift our discussion customized to all the rising signs. So starting first with the Aries Lagna natives. So guys, the month seems to be starting on a very good note for you. Because your 3rd house and 6th house Lord Mercury is going to be getting exalted in the 6th house. And second thing is that because of the so much of the planetary concentration in your 7th house, one thing is for sure, pertaining to the matters of your 7th house, which has to do with your public image, which has to do with your commercial interest, which has to do with marriage, this month will prove to be a game changer for a lot many Aries Lagna natives. And guys, like the way I already mentioned this thing, that during this Pitru Paksh, and your ascendant lord getting conjunct with Ketu in your 7th house. So if you are having any unusual unseen problems pertaining to the matters of your 7th house, pertaining to the matters of your business, your public image, any of the lawsuit related concerns, so doing like paying homage to your ancestors should be considered during this month. Second thing is that guys, definitely I'm not seeing you guys vulnerable pertaining to the matters of your profession, anything to do with the academic pursuit, anything to do with the winning over any competition, or if you have to write any competitive exam. So month is creating a very favorable energy, because as you can see that your 10th house lord and the 11th house lord Saturn in any case is in a accentuated state. Over and above that, your 3rd house lord, which is Mercury, it is also going to be exalted in your 6th house. So the only way I'm seeing Aries Lagna natives vulnerable is that after the second half of the month you have to be a little bit careful, because guys, in the second half of the month, like specifically after October 18, your 5th house lord Sun is going to be getting debilitated in the 7th house. Over and above that, it is going to get conjunct with Mars, going to get conjunct with Mercury, with Ketu, and Venus is going to be there in your 5th house. So a lot many Aries Lagna natives might be tempted towards taking extra risk, and taking all these extra risk might land you in trouble. So pertaining to the matters of your education, academic pursuit, do not be overconfident. Pertaining to the matters of harmony within your relationship, you have to be very disciplined. And also guys, for anything to do with the competition, performing arts, I'm not seeing you guys vulnerable. And like the way I already mentioned this thing, pertaining to the matters of your public image, new commercial business opportunities, or meeting new people, or severing ties with the past connection. So this is how this month will turn out for all the Aries Lagna natives. But overall guys, the way I'm looking forward to the theme of this month for your Lagna, so I'm actually seeing you in a position of power. So the more risk you will take, and with how much preparation you are going to face any competition, things will work out in your favor. At least the planetary vibrations are supporting you in major areas. Moving ahead guys, now for all the Taurus Lagna natives. So guys, in your case, like the way whenever I talk about any of the monthly horoscope, my first emphasis and attention always goes that is your ascendant lord shifting in this month or not. So as you can fairly see that your ascendant lord, which is the planet Venus, is going to be shifting to your 4th house, which in itself can be seen as a very good energy. And like the way guys, the theme of this month is that too much of the planetary concentration in the Libra, which is your ascendant lord's ruled sign only, and which falls in your 6th house. So guys, one thing is for sure, for all the Taurus Lagna natives, this is going to be a month of feeling secure, feeling stable, experiencing that domestic bliss or happiness. A lot many people with the Taurus Lagna might also get a chance to go back to their like if you're living abroad, so going back to your family, or getting that touch of security and being taken care by your loved ones. So this is how the theme of this month will work out for you. Second thing is that if your business or commercial aspirations are somehow connected with the 4th house, you deal with the interior decor, you're working as an architect, or anything to do with the buying and selling of vehicles, high-end luxury goods, aviation, hospitality, PR field, being in public service. So all those people will be able to perform good, execute their duties and responsibilities very efficiently. Also guys, for anything to do with the any of the, you want to renovate your house, get any of the house related deal finalized, pertaining to that, if you are also in need of some sort of loan getting approved or house loan getting approved. So overall guys, the month's energy seems to be a lot in favor for the Taurus Lagna natives. Also guys, like the way as you can see that the whole planetary concentration is taking place in your 6th house. So if you are in that stage in your life that during this month, in the month of October, you have to take any important decision, like this could be joining a new company or getting started on a new role, or your company has chosen you for any of the important project, any of the responsibility which is on your shoulder. So you'll be able to handle or shoulder any of the responsibilities given to you with your complete expertise. And also if you have to write any competitive exam in any situation, in any way, if you have to face any competition, you will be able to perform very well. So yes guys, pertaining to the matters of the 6th house, and like the way I always say this thing, that 6th house could be a matter of concern for different rising signs, but just because for the Taurus Lagna and for the Scorpio Lagna, the 6th house carries the energy of your ascendant lord only. So this is sort of a upper edge which naturally you have got, and with this much of the concentration of the planets, so nothing is gonna stop you. And if your ongoing dashas are also running favorable, you have got some very good yogas, and during this month you have to make any of the important changes in your line of work or face any competition, so things are surely gonna work out in your favor. And also guys, as you can see that because during this month or at the end of the month, Rahu and Ketu are also going to be changing signs, and like the way I've been mentioning this thing, that they are actually coming in a very harmonious axis for your Lagna. So Rahu is going to be entering your 11th house, Ketu is going to be entering in your 5th house. So one thing is for sure, that there is a very important new cycle or new phase which is very soon going to start in your life, which will definitely connect you with lot many new people and will take you to the depth of your spiritual quest and spiritual inquiries. So overall, a very good month for the Taurus Lagna natives. And also guys, I forgot to mention this thing, that Mercury, your 2nd house lord, is going to get exalted in your 5th house at the beginning of the month only. So the month might also start with some very good like this could be that suddenly you get to know someone likes you, or you get set up on a date or meeting someone. So because as you can see that whenever we express our love, or see, there are like lot many people who keep on setting us on dates, like specifically if you are single you would understand this thing, but they are rarely those people who touch our heart. So the way planets are behaving during this month, your ascendant lord Venus, the planet of love, attraction, in your 4th house and 5th house of romance, again Mercury getting exalted over there. So it's a very good energy for that feel good factor, spending your time with the loved ones or doing those things which you love to do. So overall, it's a good month. All what I can say is that apart from giving attention and focus to your work, take out time for some recreational work, spend quality time with your friends, and try to do all those things which actually feel you fulfilled, make you feel fulfilled, or kind of bring out that love within you. Moving ahead guys, now for all the Gemini Lagna natives. So definitely guys, as you can see that month will definitely start on a very good note, because in any of the monthly horoscope video, I always first start with how the ascendant lord is behaving. Is the ascendant lord making any shift or not? So in your case, your ascendant lord Mercury at the beginning of the month only is going to get exalted in the 4th house, and after that it is also going to move to another house which is going to be right now in a very accentuated state. So like the way as you can see that the month will start with Ketu being over there, then Mars will enter, then Sun will enter, and your ascendant lord will also enter. So this month is creating a very harmonious energy pertaining to the matters of your 5th house. Like if in your line of work, giving advice to people or any of the artistic creative endeavors are getting applicable, or teaching, training is getting applicable, so this month will prove to be a game changer for the Gemini Lagna natives. Also guys, because your ascendant lord is going to get exalted in your 4th house, so I would say that if you are in that line of work or you are in that stage of the life that you have to take some significant important decision pertaining to your family life, so you will be able to handle or execute all those duties, responsibilities pertaining to your family life with complete perfection. After that guys, because of the planetary alignment taking place in your 5th house, so definitely guys, for all those people who are like right now going through their academic stage, and they have to write any competitive exam, you have to do any of the selection of the right field for you, or enroll or start any of the process of taking admission in any college or university and all. So the month is actually creating a very favorable energy. Also guys, the only way I'm seeing you guys vulnerable is that because whenever 5th house gets accentuated with too much of the planetary presence, and over here we are also talking about planets which are very ferocious as well, like Ketu, Mars and Sun. So 5th house also tells about the kind of thoughts which comes to our mind. So a lot many Gemini Lagna people will be very quick to come to action, or they will be very proactive, but at the same time thoughts of aggression, thoughts of fearlessness might overwhelm a lot many Gemini Lagna natives as well. So which a lot many times makes people vulnerable, that let's say for example if you deal in stock market, trading and all, so over there this impulsive buying, impulsive actions might land a lot many Gemini Lagna natives in trouble as well. So pertaining to the matters of the speculative actions or dealings over there, take those decisions with a calm state of mind. That is the only one thing which I can say. And yes guys, apart from that, as we have already discussed about the way Rahu and Ketu and their axis shift is going to be working out during this month, as Rahu is going to be now finally entering your 10th house and Ketu is going to be entering your 4th house. So one thing is for sure, that in your professional sphere, lot many new avenues, new experiences, dealing with new people, new responsibilities are awaiting for you. All but matters is that during this month, I would say that give attention to your family life. If any of the important domestic matters which are like getting procrastinated every week, every month, so try to accomplish them, finalize them during this month, because once Ketu will enter your 4th house, it might detach you from the roots or from the signification of your family life, pertaining to your attention and focus on the family life. So yes guys, overall the month seems to be very favorable. Specifically for the students, I would say the energy is very favorable, and for feeling secured and being in a secured environment, spending time with your loved ones, pertaining to that matters as well, this month seems to be very favorable for all the Gemini Lagna natives. Now guys, for all the Cancer Lagna natives, so guys, in your case, as you can see that the month will start on a very good note when Mercury is going to get exalted in your 3rd house. That in itself means that if you are engaged in the fields of sales, media, marketing, you are a freelance person, you are a self-employed person, so this month can actually give you new opportunities, new experiences, chance to network with new people, and even any of the travels undertaken by you will prove to be very profitable. You will get the right set of support from your friends, from your colleagues. So regarding that front, the month will start on a very good note. After that guys, as you can see that like Venus is going to be transiting in your 2nd house, and it's going to be transiting over there for a while. So I would say that if in your line of work, like if you are dealing with the Venusian profession and connected fields, or let's say for example if in your finances, in your income, females have got a major role to play, or let's say for example you are dealing in a product which is chiefly where your target audience is chiefly females, so then also regarding that front as well, this is going to be a very fruitful month for a lot many Cancer Lagna natives. Definitely guys, because a lot many Cancer Lagna natives with the influence of either Moon or Venus in the 2nd house or 6th house also drive these people towards food business, restaurant business. They also tend to be very big foodie as well. So definitely travels, exploring some new cuisines and all, regarding that front, the month will prove to be very favorable. After that guys, now as you can see that there is a lot of planetary transit which is taking place in your 4th house. Now as you know that Cancer in itself is the original 4th house energy, so the only attribute or entity which defines Cancer Lagna native is their emotions. So yes guys, pertaining to the matters of your family life, like rather I would say that this month will prove to be kind of a game changer, or some sort of significant accomplishments can also be attained pertaining to the matters of your 4th house. So guys, first thing is that, like let's say for example for all those people who are planning to because here we are talking about the malefic planets, and whenever planets like Mars, which is a favorable planet for you, Ketu, whenever they are transiting from the 4th house, that they generally kind of uproots us or detaches us from the attributes of that house. So let's say for example in any capacity you are planning to relocate or shift to a new residence, or undertake any travel, or join a new company, new organization during this period. So all of those significant changes in your dwelling, in your residences will prove to be very favorable. And also guys, because as you can see that by the end of the month, Rahu and Ketu are going to be changing, and Rahu is now finally going to be entering your 9th house, and Ketu is going to be transiting to your 3rd house. So even pertaining to the matters of any long distance travel and foreign travel, or like this could be work related travel, will also prove to be a lot in your favor. So yes guys, this is how I am seeing the theme of this month turning out for the Cancer Lagna natives pertaining to the matters of like specifically your self-expression, or for initiating new projects, or connecting with relevant people who are connected with your field. The month is very favorable pertaining to the domestic matters as well. Like if you want to make any significant changes in your dwelling, or any of the concerns of, like, you are working in the fields of public service, or you are working as an architect, or you are in the business of immigration or import export nature of work, or I would say that even any of the travel pertaining to your work connected to your business or your job will also prove to be very favorable. So yes guys, this is how the month will turn out to be. Very soon, like after the end of this month only, Saturn will turn direct in your 8th house as well, which will also prove to be very fruitful, where there will be lot many gains connected to your joint resources and some sort of spiritual epiphany, awakenings, new degree and sense of awareness. So a lot many things are awaiting for you to be experienced, but definitely this month try to give priority pertaining to the matters of your 3rd house and 4th house, because with this much of the concentration of the planets, if your life's undertaking and your aspirations right now are connected with the matters of the 3rd house or 4th house, so success can be attained. Now guys, for all the Leo Lagna natives, so guys, for you the month will start on a very good note, as your 11th house lord and your 2nd house lord Mercury is going to be getting exalted in your 2nd house. That in itself is an indication that pertaining to the matters of like commerce, trade, public speaking, the month will prove to be very favorable. A lot many like Leo Lagna natives will be recipient or will be eligible for lot many opportunities, or you will be able to impress people with your diplomatic skills, with your communication skills, with your business dealings and negotiation. Regarding all of that, the month is starting on a very good note. After that guys, as you can see that there is a lot of planets which are getting concentrated in your 3rd house now, which becomes important in your case because your ascendant lord is also going to be a part of this motley combination in your 3rd house. Now guys, try to understand this thing, that 3rd house has got a very self-willed energy attached over there. Like when we talk about aggression, motivation, drive, competitive skill, your prowess, or your this drive to prove yourself, all of that very strongly comes from the 3rd house. So one thing is for sure, that there will be no scarcity of the confidence in your personality during this month. All what matters is that how you channelize it. And yes guys, if you are in that stage where you are trying to initiate any of the important projects, the month will prove to be very favorable, because guys over here you have to see this thing that on October 2nd only, your 10th house lord Venus is going to be transiting in your 1st house. That in itself is not only putting you in a position of power, and also because Venus is a very graceful, very charming planet. So one charming planet is going to be transiting over there in your 1st house, and your 2nd house in itself is very accentuated. So overall, the theme of this month is very fruitful, very favorable for the Leo Lagna natives. And guys, you have to understand this thing, that after the end of this month, things will definitely take a strong turn in your life, because as you can see that Rahu is going to be transiting in your 8th house, and Ketu after that will start transiting in your 2nd house. And I guess I have mentioned this thing before as well, that Ketu's transit in the 2nd house might be good for a spiritual seeker, but for the material wealth, that is not always a very favorable energy. So my recommendation to the Leo Lagna native is that if you from long have been projecting or trying hard to start some new business, or kind of give foundation to some new business idea, or whatsoever you have been conceptualizing or strategizing for long, but you are not putting it on papers, you're not putting it on an execution stage or cycle. So my recommendation is that in the first 3 weeks you should prioritize that, because when Rahu will enter your 8th house and Ketu will enter your 2nd house, it might put you in a karmic grip where things might not be that easy or simple for you. So that is the first recommendation I want to make. Second thing is that guys, definitely with this much of the planetary concentration in your 3rd house, for all those people who have to write any competitive exam, for all those people who are like planning to initiate some new project, get into some new deals, new agreement and all, the month is definitely creating a very favorable energy. After that guys, because now Rahu is going to be transiting to your 8th house. So for all those people who who are like planning to immigrate to a new country, any of the concerns of visa, immigration, or let's say for example you are heavily invested in research, in exploration and all of that, or even I would say that because the degree and sense of confidence right now is so strengthened that even if you are a part of any secretive covert actions or activities, so you will be able to very courageously fulfill your duties and responsibilities. So yes guys, overall I'm not seeing any vulnerability. You will get the right set of support from your siblings, from your friends, and you will be very much driven towards your financial portfolio, taking some important decision. And yes, with the 10th house lords transit in your first house, you will definitely be in a position of power, and with the magnetism in your personality and your good communication skills, you will be able to kind of seal or kind of close some important deals during this month as well. Now guys, for all the Virgo Lagna natives, so guys, the month will start on a very good note, as your ascendant lord and your 10th house lord Mercury is going to be getting exalted in your first house. That in itself is this indication that if in your line of work, public speaking or discriminatory intelligence, commerce, trade, too much of the travel, if that is getting applicable, you will be able to impress people. So guys, whenever the 10th house lord is transiting in the first house, we somehow remains in control, in command over the major areas of our life, major affairs of our life. So pertaining to that, if you are in that crossroad that you have to finalize any important deal or make any of the important lifetime decision, the month's energy will prove to be very favorable. After that guys, as you can see that your second house lord is going to be transiting in your 12th house for the complete month. So the month will prove out to be very expensive for lot many Virgo Lagna natives as well. And guys, the only reason why we listen to these videos is that so that we can channelize our energies according to our planetary vibration. So if the planets are hard bent on burning a hole in your pocket, better it should be done and utilized for some right reasons. So I would say that doing charities or making some donations during this month will be very much recommended. After that guys, now you can see that during this month a lot many planets are getting concentrated in your second house. First Ketu, after that Mars, then Sun, then your ascendant lord. So that in itself means that pertaining to the matters of your financial portfolio, this could be a very important month. Like I would say that I will not be surprised that if during this month you remain lucky in kind of closing some important deal, getting some important or big client, or even in your finances as well. Like if you are planning to make some important changes or shift, the month will prove to be very favorable. Because guys, in your case, second house, or when we talk about Libra or Venus becomes your very important planet. It is your 9th house lord as well. So because of which, with this much of the concentration of the planets in the second house, regarding your finances and financial portfolio, month is creating a favorable energy. Because guys, like the way we say this thing, whichsoever planet transits in the second house, somehow it contributes the finances connected to its attributes. After that guys, the only concern is that because second house also tells about our kutum, our family as well. So if you have or you are going through any of the dispute or any of the conflict within the immediate family, with this much of the concentration of the heated planets over there, all these problems can go worse or it might get exaggerated. So over there you have to be a little bit careful. And now guys, because Mars, Ketu being transiting from the second house, and we are the first half of this month is going to be under the influence of Pitra Paksh as well. So if you have any of the Pitra dosha in your natal chart, so getting remedy, doing shraddh or making donations at the time of the new moon will be much recommended and advisable for all the Virgo Lagna natives. So yes guys, we have discussed how Venus, how the concentration of the planets in your second house is going to be influencing you. And after that guys, the most significant transit of this month when Rahu and Ketu are going to be changing signs. Now that is a different case, that they will change signs at the end of the month. But just because now Ketu is going to be coming to your first house and Rahu is going to be entering your 7th house. So trust me guys, do not be alarmed, do not be confused that by the end of the week or last week of this month, suddenly you start getting those ideas and thoughts of spirituality or kind of self-negating yourself, getting dependent on other people, or thinking and planning about Kundalini, chakra, meditation, going on a pilgrimage, or suddenly taking heightened interest in nature and all. So this is what the attributes and qualities of Ketu is. And just because it is going to be influencing and now entering your first house, and it's going to be staying there for another 1.5 years. So the first hit or first experience of that will start coming in by the end of the month. So try to be ready and very much welcoming towards it. And yes guys, pertaining to the matters of your finances, the month will prove to be very favorable for all the Virgo Lagna natives. Now guys, for all the Libra Lagna natives, so guys, month will start on a very good note, as your 9th house lord and the 12th house lord Mercury is going to be getting exalted in the 12th house. So that in itself means that with your discriminatory intelligence, you will be able to see through any sort of trap, any sort of confusion, like in your line of work, too much of the problem solving, or like solving any perplexing situations and all. If that is an integral part of your line of work, if you are in a business of import, export, foreign travels, immigration, so all those people can get benefited. After that guys, now as you can see that there are too much of the planetary concentration which is gonna happen in your first house during this month. So guys, I would say that it all comes down to individual to individual. Now let's say for example, if you are a kind of person who operate or who handle stress, responsibilities very gracefully, that suddenly you are in a business where, like let's take up my case. So if at an average I get 3 consultations a week, and this is a kind of a planetary vibration that I suddenly got 30 consultations a week. So how I will act, how will I respond to pressure? So that is something which is getting applicable in your case, because all the planets which are going to be coming to your first house, they are somehow very heated energy. So pertaining to that, I would say that be prepared to execute or handle responsibilities during this month. Second thing is that guys, because as you can see that in your case, your ascendant lord is also going to be making a shift, and it is going to be entering your 11th house. So guys, I always start the monthly horoscope first with paying attention whether ascendant lord is making any shift during that month or not. So ascendant lord transiting in the 11th house and with too much of the planetary vibration taking place or getting concentrated in your first house, it is a very good energy. Like specifically if you are in that capacity that like you are a top CEO, you are in your own business or public performances and all. So if all of that is getting applicable in your case, and I would also say that whenever ascendant lord goes in the 11th house, and whenever the transiting moon during this month will transit from your 11th house, a lot many Libra Lagna natives will be very much eligible for recognition, new opportunity, meeting some important people, suddenly feeling kind of very uplifted. So regarding that front, month is creating a very favorable energy. So yes guys, only one thing which I can say over here is that pertaining to the matters of your relationship, you have to be a little bit careful, because now what is going to be happening is that Ketu is going to be making its finally or giving you its final nudge before leaving your first house. So, and your 7th house lord is already transiting in your first house. So if I were to summarize, pertaining to the matters of your public image, important commercial decision, handling responsibilities, executing responsibilities with perfection, standing a chance for award, for recognition, opportunities and all, month is creating very favorable energy. But pertaining to the matters of in the existing relationship, now this could be your intimate relationship, or this could be within the business setup as well. If you are in a partnership nature of work, so this month will create a lot of turmoil, like where suddenly situations might get so deep and so intense that you even start contemplating on severing the ties, or thinking again about the pros and cons of being in that relationship, being in that partnership. So I would say that this is not a good month to kind of contemplate on those ultimate far-sighted decision in the matters of the relationship. But yes guys, other aspect in this month are actually turning out very favorable. Like I have already mentioned this thing, at the first half of the month, Mercury is going to be exalted in your 12th house, and after that Ketu will transit to your 12th house. So yes guys, for anything to do with travel, foreign travel, exploration and all. Month is creating a very good energy for people who are on the top of the management, top of the leadership role, freelance business people and all. A very good month for taking some important decision. And yes, Venus's transit, your ascendant lord's transit in the 11th house, networking with people or doing things which makes you feel good and uplifted. So this is how the month will turn out for all the Libra Lagna natives. Now guys, for all the Scorpio Lagna natives, so guys, in your case, as you can see that the month will start on a very good note, as Mercury is going to be exalted in your 11th house. Now guys, as you know that Mercury, although it's not a very favorable planet for you, but just because Mercury is a planet of intelligence, of communication and of networking, of friendship, and Mercury getting exalted in your 11th house, so a lot many Scorpio Lagna natives might remain lucky in getting connected with important people or standing a chance for some acquisition of new client, new markets, new opportunities. Regarding that front, the month will prove to be favorable. Second thing is that guys, now as you can see that during this month, a lot many of your planets are getting concentrated in your 12th house. So firstly, Ketu is transiting over there, then your ascendant lord is going to be a part of it, then Sun, after that Mercury will also join this bandwagon. So one thing is for sure that if you know that there are those people who do not like you, so do not do anything which could trigger any of the negative energy, toxic energy in your environment. Because guys, as you know that 6th house belongs to all those enemies which we can see. 12th house is always the hidden conspiracies taking place behind our back. So do not do anything which could trigger or kind of instigate these kind of conflicting and inimical energy all around you. Second thing is that definitely guys, it all comes down to individual to individual. If in your line of work 12th house related attributes are getting applicable, like foreign travel, anything to do with the secretive, covert operation, underhanded activities, if that is an integral part of your line of work, I would say that a lot many Scorpio Lagna natives might get benefited as well. But overall guys, like the way you know this thing, that the way planetary concentration is taking place right now for you, because very soon, as you can see that Rahu is going to be transiting in your 5th house and Ketu is going to be transiting in your 11th house. So guys, you have to understand this thing, that although lot many people say this thing that Rahu in the 5th house can give you fame, can give you speculative gains, but you know this thing that in a society where you want to be known for the righteous and ethical actions and all, so Rahu is the biggest threat over there, because Rahu in itself represents all those degrading thoughts of manipulation, of unethical actions and acts. So very soon you are going to be overwhelmed with these kind of thought process, or you have to battle out with your inner demons. So I would say that try to make it this habit of mindfulness, doing yoga, not being very impulsive, not being too quick to get hurt or to come to any conclusion. So all these are the things which you have to make a part of your thought process, of your lifestyle, because during this month, which with too much of the planetary concentration in the 12th house, and after that this shift of Rahu and Ketu will make you prone and vulnerable towards negative thinking a lot. So you have to start to deal with all these things. Now guys, that is a different case, that if you are utilizing Rahu's energy in a constructive way, because like the way we say this thing, that a empowered Rahu either sends you to innovation or it sends you to a psychiatrist. So it all comes down to individual what is getting applicable in your case. Along with that guys, as you can see that the way Saturn and other planets are operating during this month. So Saturn will in the month of November will come out of its retrograde motion in your 4th house, but right now the whole energy is getting concentrated in your 12th house. So my recommendation is that try to keep it low, do some charities, do some donation, work hard. Doing gymming and all, or physical exercise becomes very important for the Martian Lagna natives, because this is how somehow you exert your surplus energy, which is one of the best remedy for the planet Mars as well. So yes guys, this is all what I can say over here pertaining to the matters of networking and all, or like I would also say this thing, that even for giving any performance or how you deal with your bosses and all, over there I'm not seeing you guys vulnerable, because as you can see that the planet of diplomacy, networking and all, Venus is going to be transiting in your 10th house, and Mercury is already exalted in your 11th house. So that in itself means that people at your work front will definitely be in your favor, or you have this capacity to convince people to be in your side. All what matters is that, driven by impulse, driven by agitation or provocation, do not instigate anything which could turn people against you. And yes guys, anything to do with the foreign travels or any of the pilgrimage and all pertaining to that matters, the month will prove to be very favorable for all the Martian like Scorpio Lagna natives. Now for all the Sagittarius Lagna natives, so guys, in your case, as you can see that the month will start on a very good note when Mercury, your 7th house lord and 10th house lord, is going to be exalted in your 10th house. That in itself means that it's a very good month for you to network with your bosses, network with your colleagues, and if in your line of work, problem solving, multitasking, giving presentation, travels, going on important meetings, client acquisition, if all of that is an integral part of your line of work, the month will turn out to be in your favor. Also guys, as you can see that Venus is now going to be transiting in your 9th house. So one thing is for sure, that you will get right tutoring, right mentoring during this month, which will connect you with the right set of important people. After that guys, now the turning point or the significant anchor of this month is that too much of the planetary concentration in your 11th house. So it all starts with Ketu being there, then Mars, after that Sun and Mercury. All of these planets are gonna join in your 11th house. Now guys, as you know this thing, that 11th house also tells about our friendship, networking, our goals, and also this is the house of our supplementary income as well. So yes, because of your network being able to churn out some new opportunity or some new idea and all, the month is creating a very favorable energy. So this is very much recommended to lot many Sagittarius Lagna natives to go out, network with people, relevant people. After that guys, now as you can see that because of Ketu finally leaving your 11th house, one thing is for sure, that before leaving it might give a final nudge as well. So the thing which I'm trying to say over here is that this is a kind of a planetary shift and transit, because even Sun is going to be debilitated in your 11th house, and Ketu and Mars being placed over there. A lot many of the Sagittarius Lagna natives might have to experience a kind of a breakup kind of situation within their circle of influence. Like this could be a case that suddenly someone did something, someone acted like that and it hurt your feelings, or suddenly the group you generally hang out with or your ideologies and philosophy suddenly get a jolt, suddenly get a shock, or you will be able to see the point of view of others as well. And also guys, networking with new set of people, mixing up with new set of people and all. So regarding all that front, all of these things can be foreseen with the way your 11th house is under the influence of so many planets. After that guys, now as you can see that Venus in your case is your 11th house lord, and it is your 6th house lord as well. And because Venus during this month is going to be transiting in your 9th house, so it hardly matters whether you are right now pursuing your higher education, anything to do with teaching, training professionals or motivational speakers and all, the month is creating a very favorable energy. The good thing is that guys, your 6th house lord is going to be transiting in your 9th house. So this is a kind of energy, because 6th house lord going in the 10th house or 11th house might be connected with success, but 6th house lord going in the 9th house has got much to do with inspiration and with respect. So in your line of work, the way you execute, the way you conduct yourself, you might be set as an example in your line of work, which will be used as an example to inspire your colleagues, to your juniors as well. And yes guys, for any of the important work related travel or being able to get a chance to work with some important people or being picked up for some important responsibilities, important projects, regarding that front as well, the month is creating a very favorable energy. After that guys, now for all the Capricorn Lagna natives. So guys, in your case, as you can see that the month will start on a very good note when Mercury is going to be exalted in your ninth house. So guys, as you know this thing, that if you are right now pursuing your higher studies or anything to do with important work related travel and all, the month is creating a very favorable energy. Like sixth house lord is getting exalted in the ninth house, so travel will definitely activate your luck during this month. So if you get a chance to travel, do not overlook or let go that opportunity. After that guys, now as you can see that too much of the planetary concentration is taking place in your 10th house during this month. So it all begin first with Ketu being placed over there, after that Mars, then Sun, then Mercury. So there is a lot of churning which is taking place in your 10th house. Now guys, try to understand this thing, that when this house gets accentuated, so that in itself means that during this month either you have to deal with very important people, very sensitive projects, or you might be picked up for some important delegation, duties and responsibilities as well. So guys, I will not be surprised if during this month out of the blue you will get picked up for some important role, or if you're out of the work, suddenly you get a job or some new opportunity, or you might acquire some very important demanding client during this month. So regarding your professional churning, turmoil, professional accomplishment point of view, the month is creating a very favorable energy. And after that guys, now as you can see that in your case, Venus becomes a very important planet, because Venus has got a rulership over your 5th house and your 10th house, and during this month it is going to be transiting in your 8th house. So yes guys, during this month, see 5th house lord and 10th house lord going in the 8th house might be very good for research, for exploration, or going to the depth of doing a proper analysis of your line of work, of your business, of your career. But guys, when we talk about enjoyment or recreational activities, fun and pleasure, over there overindulging in that, or any of the frivolous or casual attitude or approach in sexuality while dealing with the female co-workers and all, over there you have to remain very cautious, very careful. And yes guys, and it is a different thing that if in your line of work, working in the fields of research, revenue, insurance, taxing or finance field, all those people can still get benefited. So yes guys, this is how the whole energy is going to be turning out for the Capricorn Lagna natives. If you get a chance to travel, any of the work related travel, do not let go of that opportunity. Be very respectful around the female co-workers and connected to the matters of your profession. Some important responsibilities and projects are definitely coming on your way, and nothing would be better than that if you're already on a top management or you are working in the fields of politics and all. So this could be a very important month for you. Now guys, for all the Aquarius Lagna natives, so guys, in your case, as you can see that the month will start on a very good note when your 5th house lord is going to be getting exalted in your 8th house. That in itself is a very good news for people who are in the fields of research, exploration, insurance, revenue, occult fields. And also guys, because whenever the planet of intelligence get exalted in the 8th house, that in itself makes our awareness open towards new idea, new experiences, new sense and awareness of the reality. After that guys, now as you can see that Venus is going to be now this whole month going to be transiting in your 7th house. That in itself is a very good indication, specifically pertaining to the matters of love, romance, or feeling secured, being well taken care by your partner, by your spouse, some new love and romance taking place in your life. Regarding all that front, month is creating a very favorable energy. And lastly guys, now as you can see that with too much of the planetary concentration taking place in your 9th house, and like the way guys I mentioned this thing at the beginning of this video, that the first half of this month is going to be under the influence of the Pitra Paksh, which has to do with our ancestors, and Ketu, Mars, Sun, Mercury, like all transiting in your 9th house. So all the Shraddh Paksh remedies, rituals get very much recommended and strongly applicable in your case. So in any of the capacity, if you get a chance to do the Shraddh, if you are living in India, or doing any donations, doing any charity if that is possible for you, or even feeding crows, or making any donation at the time of the new moon, if that is possible, that will definitely give strength to your house of luck, fortune. In a way, blessing will come to you from your ancestors. And also guys, for anything to do with the like long distance travel, or all those people who are right now pursuing their higher studies and all, or if in your line of work, like you are working in the fields of import export, travel business, or teaching, training, motivational speaking, theology, spirituality. So overall the month's energy is very uplifting for a lot many Aquarius Lagna natives. So yes guys, pertaining to the matters of your commerce, your commercial opportunities, your public image, new romance point of view, the month is creating a very favorable energy. 8th house Mercury being exalted over there, definitely your discriminatory intelligence will connect you with lot many opportunities, or you will have a new way of looking at things. And along with that, with too much of the planetary concentration in your 9th house, definitely any of the gesture shown towards showing your respect towards your ancestors will be very much rewarded from the universe. And if you are right now, your life's undertakings are somehow connected with the 9th house during this time, so all those Aquarius Lagna natives will get rewarded during this month. Now guys, for all the Pisces Lagna natives, so guys, in your case, as you can see that the month will start on a very good note when your 4th house lord and 7th house lord is going to be getting exalted in the 7th house. So that in itself means that a lot many Pisces Lagna natives during this month will be eligible for some new commercial opportunities. And I would also say that because very soon your ascendant lord Jupiter is going to be getting rid of the influence of Rahu in your 2nd house. So with your 7th house lord being exalted over there, so even pertaining to the matters of commercial opportunities or matrimonial alliances and all, the month is creating a very favorable energy. Like rather I would say that if you are in any of the public speaking role or in public service, the month will definitely prove to be very important for you. Second thing is that guys, because during this whole month Venus is going to be transiting in your 6th house. Now first of all, Venus's transit in the Leo is not a favorable energy. Second of all, Venus in the 6th house kind of feel itself being deprived of enjoyment, happiness, or that feel good factor. But the good part over here is that this is a kind of a placement where with your hard work you can set an example for your co-workers, or you might be able to bond well with your people while inspiring them through hard work. So I would say that pertaining to making good connections or making things more friendly at your line of work, regarding that front, this is going to be a very favorable energy of Venus in your 6th house. Now guys, the major vulnerability of this month comes from too much of the planetary concentration taking place in your 8th house. So first of all, with Ketu being conjunct with Mars in the 8th house is a matter of concern. So if you are very prone and vulnerable towards depression, stress, getting feeling of hurt very quickly comes to you, so you have to be very protective, very careful during this month. Second thing is that the same is getting applicable when you drive, or if in your line of work you deal with heavy machinery or sharp edged tools and all, so you have to be very careful during this month. Along with that guys, because like the way you see that even your 6th house lord is transiting in the 8th house, so first of all you have to be very cautious and very careful of guarding your public image. Like my recommendation is that even in your professional front as well, as much as you can avoid getting into gossips and all, so better it will be for you. And for all those people who are heavily and deeply invested in research, in exploration, working in the fields of insurance, revenue, psychology, occult subjects and all, so all those people can still get benefited. So yes guys, this is how the whole month's energy is going to be working out for all the rising signs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. धन्यवाद.